In the last videos, we were talking about elements that have been existing in WatchKit since the first version and just carried over onto the second version. In this video, we're going to be talking about something completely new to WatchKit 2, and that's the new picker element for your WatchKit UI. As you can see, the picker that you have access to is the same as the picker that's in other parts of the WatchKit UI, and is now available, of course, to you through this element. Of course, you just drag it onto the screen, and you get your picker in the screen. If we go over to the attribute inspector, we can see there's three styles of picker in WatchKit 2. There's a list, a stack, and a sequence. The list is a list of elements that just scroll up and down. The stack is elements that kind of like come up over on top of each other as you scroll through them, and the sequence is ones that just change as you scroll through. We'll talk about those later in these videos or in another video, but for this first example, we're just going to create a stack list. And we're going to control drag over our picker outlet from our interface, and if we command click into the WK interface picker element, we can see we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 functions, with these first three being the ones that are sort of important and relevant to a picker. First one, focused for crown input. When you call this function, this particular picker will focus, and then you can scroll through it with the crown, which is on the side. The set selected item index lets you pass a int index, selecting where in your array of items that of course you're passing to the picker you want the default to be. And finally, set items lets you set a list of WK picker items that will be displayed in the picker. If we command click into the WK item, you can see it's down here, we can see an item has 4 elements: a title, a caption, a accessory image, which I'll talk about in this video, and a content image, which we'll talk about in a later video. As you can see, it has little explanations on all these as to what exactly these do. So let's get started setting up our picker for this video. So the first thing we need is that set of WK items in an array. So to create each WK item, we're going to go let item 1 equal WK picker item, and then we can go item 1 dot title equals just a string, whatever you want it to be. And in this video, we're going to be talking about accessory images. So item 1 dot accessory image, it's a WK image, and we are going to use an image name, and we're going to use this myimage.png. Oops. And that will set it all up. I'm going to copy this a couple of times to create a couple of separate items. Probably the better way to do this in a real app is maybe use an array and append it to a list, or you might be pulling the information from a server. You should work out a way that's best for your app. Okay, so we have our 4 items. Now we just need to create an array of those items. So let items array equal, open up our array. We're going to go item 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so we have our array. Finally, we need to set this array into our picker. To do that, as you saw before, we had in our picker, we had a set items, and we're just going to pass our items array. Okay, so we can run our app and we will get all these items in our picker with our image as an accessory. Here we are. When we open our app, we have our tiny little image there, and we have our title, and we can scroll through it. That's pretty useful, but we need to get out what index we're currently at. Now, like the switch and the slider, to get out a current position, we need to use an action because our UI is separated from the logic of our app. So, control drag from the picker to our logic. We're going to change the connection to action. We're going to go picker, changed. And this is going to pass us an int value. So, of the index in the array that we're currently at each time the picker is changed. So if we run it again, we can scroll up and down, changing our current position. We scroll back, we can see this is printing that index every time we move it. Okay, so let's have a look at what some of these other settings are. As you can see, we have two other settings here that I'm just going to address quickly in this video. And they are the focus style and the indicator. So the focus style is how the picker appears when it's currently focused, and the user can change it. So as you can see, we have two options. We have an outline and an outline with caption. This caption comes from our WK interface picker right here, the caption. So whichever one in the array is currently selected, the caption will appear above the selected picker. So if we select that and we add a caption to each of these, you can see how that works. Oh, and one other thing we need to change is we need to change the indicator show while focused. So yep, that's good. Okay, we go back, open our app. There we go. When it's selected, as you can see, if we had different captions there, which we probably should, that caption will change, and it shows us that we have a that this particular picker is selected and that we've changed it and stuff like that. So next up, we're going to talk about using the other styles of picker. Now, to use the stack style picker, we need to have not an accessory image, but instead a content image. So if we just quickly change the accessory image, all of these, to content images, and run our app again, as you can see, when we scroll through, it goes, sort of brings those images on top. See how that works? Now let's look at the other one, which is a sequence. So just change that, rerun the app. As you can see, this isn't changing. That's because all of our images are the same. If you have different images for each element, what it will do is it just goes straight between each of the images without the little animation like the stack or the scroll view has. So that's the three styles of picker and how you can set them up and use them in WatchKit. There's one other part of the picker that I'm not going to cover in this video because it's pretty simple just to set up yourself, and it involves using a image sequence, animated image sequence, and they're called coordinating images. So as you can see, I have the PowerPoint from the WWDC keynote, and it talks about how you can add a group with a background image, and you can coordinate the sequence of images, the animated image sequence, with your picker. This is just WatchKit in-depth part 2. It's on the Apple website. If you want to go through this, it's pretty simple. As you can see, there's all the steps there. And just as it goes through the items, progressively goes through the image. The example they've used is up here, where as you go through bigger numbers, this circle fills in. You can see how it could be used to do animations like this. Again, not going to cover in this video, but you can just look that up yourself.